in 2020. On the outside of him, Shane Clanton in car 25.
Daniel Huset and Hudson O'Neal in row number 2. Row 3 will be Brandon Overton and Jonathan Davenport. James, row 4 is Tim McCready and Bobby Pierce.
Row 5 will be Tyler Bruning out of Iowa. Pennsylvania's Max Blair in the 111. Devin Moran out of Ohio in the 99. And Texan Tyler Irvin, car number 1.
It'll be Dennis Erb and Chase Younghands in row 7. Earl Pearson and Ricky Thornton Jr. in row 8, followed by Alberson, Marlar, Simpson, Wilson, Robinson, Bronson, Hughes, Briggs, and Cosner rounding out the field. 25 cars set to go 80 laps. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as they come through turns 3 and 4, hit the Racing for Heroes starting zone. This is your Dixie Chopper. Feel the thunder. At the end of lap number 1, Brandon Shepherd, the 2020 champion of the Silver Dollar National, is going to jump out of the early race lead. Here comes Shane Clanton looking back down to the inside in a battle for the top spot. Shep going to stay out front. Second is Shane Clanton. Third, Hudson O'Neal. Daniel Hilsebeck runs fourth, side by side for fifth.
13-2 on that first lap for Brandon Shepherd, trying to win his second Silver Dollar Nationals. Of course, 2 years ago when he was driving the Rocket House car, now driven by Hudson O'Neal, they went to victory lane. Shane Clanton, former World 100 and Dream winner, running in second. Then it's Hudson O'Neal in 1. Jonathan Davenport trying to win his fourth Silver Dollar Nationals as they come off a turn 4 with 4 in the record books here tonight.
Like what I'm seeing from this racetrack so far, most of these guys run on the middle or higher side of the racetrack. The last couple of nights, we were rained out here one night ago on Thursday night, and through portions of the event earlier, we saw a lot of guys running just the bottom of this racetrack. Mother Nature, though, giving us a very different racing surface here this evening.
Brandon Shepherd off at turn 4. Shepherd Riggs Racing teamed up with Scott Riggs earlier this year. As they come out of turn number 2, Clanton got a battles all over the racetrack here around this 3rd mile bull ring, they call it here in Huset in Brandon, South Dakota. But right now, they are running hard, and they're going to go side by side almost for the lead, and they're going to pick up the tail end of the field here very, very shortly, Dustin, with 7 laps complete here tonight.
Good battle up front. It's Shane Clanton right now. Looks like he might be a little bit stronger than Brandon Shepherd is, just unable to work his way by. But as you said, James, with 8 laps scored in this one, as Clanton peaks nose down to the inside. Right now, they are setting a pretty good pace in front of this field, just a couple laps away from reaching the back. Your lead duo, by the way, they've got about 1.5 seconds over third place Hudson O'Neal. Man, Clanton really throwing it in on the inside of the corners.
And they got those passing points. They ran 8 heat races this afternoon. And Brandon Shepherd accumulated the most points. Clanton was second in points. That's why they were on the front rows. They battled on a turn number 2. Hudson O'Neal about 6-7 car lengths behind Clanton. Then it's Davenport. And on the inside, here comes Bobby Pierce and Hilsebeck. They will battle side by side for 5th and 6th.
Yeah, they battle momentarily. Pierce able to clear him, though, down in turns 3 and 4. You see that on the right side of your screen. On the left side of your screen, we keep a camera on the race leaders. Again, it's the B5 of Brandon Shepherd, the 25 of Shane Clanton, and they have reached the tail end of the field here on lap number 12. And James, don't look now, Hudson O'Neal starting to reel in that lead duo.
Hudson O'Neal trying to pick up some points on Ricky Thornton Jr., the current points leader. He's sporting the Midwest Sheba Loin spoiler. Shepherd to the back of Matt Cosner out at turn number 2. Cosner trying to become the first car to go a lap down. Then Clanton and O'Neal, as you mentioned, closing on Clanton. Then it's Davenport and Pierce. Caution free so far down the main straightaway. 14 complete here at Huset out of 80.
Brandon Shepherd's been able to dispose of Matt Cosner's number 66. Next car up on his hit list is going to be the 7 of Ross Robinson. He'll try to sneak underneath the Georgetown, Delaware driver down the front straightaway. He'll clear him, at least momentarily, down in turns 1 and 2. Robinson, though, wants to stay on the lead lap. He fights back to the outside. Good battle behind Shep for second. As Shane Clanton has the spot, James Hudson O'Neal trying to find a way around here in lap traffic.
Well, our race on Thursday night, a preliminary 12K to win race, we went caution free the entire distance. And as soon as I say that, we have a Gorsuch Performance Solutions caution, our first of the night here at Huset.
First time we've seen a Gorsuch Performance caution in feature action here this weekend at Huset Speedway. $16 laps scored here in the General Tire Silver Dollar Nationals presented by Dixie Chopper. First caution flag of the night has flown for a piece of debris on the back straightaway. 64 laps still remaining. James, this one's been all Brandon Sheppard since the drop of the green flag. Shane Clanton second, Hudson O'Neal third, Jonathan Davenport fourth, and Bobby Pierce rounds out the top 5.
And Daniel Hilsebeck, Brandon Overton, Tyler Erb, Tim McCready, and Chase Younghands runs in 10th.
Do want to let the folks on the grounds know that we do need all drones to be grounded, please. Again, all drones other than those with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and Flow Racing do need to be grounded. That is coming from the track as well as the series. Again, all drones other than series and Flow Racing drones, they do need to be grounded per series and track rules. Thank you.
So Brandon Sheppard, who won this race back in 2020 in the B5, or back in 2020. And again, right now with the lead in the Sheppard Riggs Racing B5 Cornet Power Plant under the hood of that B5, looking for his second big one of the year in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. He won at Farmers City, Illinois back in May during Illinois Speed Week. So we'll get him single filed out, then we'll double him up. Clanton looks like he's going to pick the bottom here. He'll have the option. Then it'll be O'Neal, Davenport, Pierce, Hilsebeck, Overton, Erb, McCready, Younghans. Thornton is 11th, Moran is 12th, Blair 13th, Bruning 14th, Bronson runs 15th.
Okay, and Kyle Bronson currently 16 laps into this race, the Todd Steel Building's hard charger of the race. He's gained 7 spots. That's more than anyone at this point in the race. Again, 16 scored, 64 still remaining. So there's a good look at the driver that picked up the win in this race. Biggest career win came in this race just a couple years ago. Kyle Bronson, again, currently gained 7 spots in this one. Yellow lights are being turned off. Green flag will wave next time by. Again, Brandon Sheppard leads. Shane Clanton is going to choose the inside lane on this Delaware double file restart. That'll put Hudson O'Neal outside, Jonathan Davenport inside, and Bobby Pierce rounds out the top 5. He'll be outside again. 16 down, 64 to go.
The Racing Brewers restart zone, and it's going to be Sheppard. O'Neal will go to the outside of Clanton to turn number 1. We'll have a change for position. Bobby Pierce to the top shelf. Here comes Pierce down the back straightaway. He's up to 4th around Davenport.
Bobby Pierce going to try to work his way onto the Big River Steel podium. Shane Clanton, the next driver in line. Clanton, though, has that spot for the time being. Pierce may look under him down the back straightaway. Clanton shuts the door. Jonathan Davenport right there as well. You're watching 3rd, 4th, and 5th come into your living room. It's still Brandon Sheppard out front. Hudson O'Neal second.
Out of turn number 2. Where Sheppard drove the Rocket House car for many, many years. Hudson O'Neal in his first full season. He started in that car in Charlotte, North Carolina, back in the month of November in the World Finals. O'Neal down to the bottom. Sheppard up top. Track still racing top to bottom as they go down the back straightaway. Clanton 3rd, under fire from Bobby Pierce. Davenport 5th, then Overton, Erb, and then Chase Younghands.
Yeah, Brandon Overton right now running in that 6th position, as there's the gap between your race leader, Brandon Sheppard, and 2nd place, Hudson O'Neal. And again, a tight racetrack like this, James, doesn't take them long to pick up the back of the field. Still about a full straightaway behind the back of the field, but man, whenever they get there, things could get hairy. There's a look back on the drivers running 6th and 7th and 8th. That's the 76 of Brandon Overton, and now look at Chase Younghands. Younghands driving down to the inside of Tyler Erb. He takes that spot away, moving back up to the battle for 3rd right now, and Bobby Pierce looks down to the inside of Shane Clanton.
Out of turn number 2, as you see the tail of the field coming off at turn 4. Here comes Sheppard. He stretched it out about 5 car lengths into turn 1. Around this 3rd mile bull ring, the biggest dirt late model race in the state of South Dakota down the back straightaway. Clanton, Pierce, and Davenport now picking up the pace. It's an important battle between Davenport and Overton in the points because those guys are 3rd and 4th, and Davenport is really closed on that position number 4 here, or number 3 rather, here in the last few races.
It's a good look right there, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And James, this happens a couple seconds behind your lead duo with Brandon Sheppard and Hudson O'Neal. You're not missing anything up front, as it's still Shep leading Hudson O'Neal 2nd. And just as we say that, James, that lead duo, not only have they caught, or they're about to catch the back of the field, Hudson O'Neal has closed in on Brandon Sheppard. 1
caution so far. There comes Sheppard. Here comes O'Neal at turn number 2. Matt Cosner, final car back on the lead lap. Pearson in front of him, then Spencer Hughes. So it's going to get tied out of turn 4. Always the guy running in 2nd has the advantage. Still got a long way to go here. 53 to go for 53,000.
Brandon Sheppard looking to put Matt Cosner a lap down at the back of the field. He'll do so. riding around the high side of this 1/3 mile high banked clay oval. Next car to go a lap down would be Earl Pearson Jr. But James, EPJ running the same line as Brandon Sheppard, and now Pearson going to go alongside the 11 of Spencer Hughes. Still a battle for third raging on, but at the front of the field, business about to pick up again as Brandon Sheppard tries to find his way by 2 lapped cars.
Now, O'Neal, he's going to have to get around Matt Cosner. He will try off a turn 4. Now Spencer Hughes, the final car in the lead lap, as Sheppard goes to the outside in that Valvoline True Timber camo number B5. As he goes into turn 3. Tell you what, if this thing can stay green, we've got a lot of contenders here right now. Brandon Sheppard, he has led every lap tonight as Hughes cuts in front of him. It is tight quartered racing here. As you see O'Neal there, no lap cars between first and second as they fire into turn 3. With 49 to go.
I don't know how it is from a driver perspective, James, but from a fan perspective, this can be a really fun racetrack to watch outside of just a gorgeous facility and the gorgeous amenities. This is a racetrack where it really narrows the straightaways. It really kind of funnels down and narrows coming off turn 2 and coming off turn 4. A lot of drivers will say that outside wall kind of closes in on you. As you see right there, Spencer Hughes coming up the racetrack on the inside, Brandon Sheppard coming down the track from the outside, and as that pinch happens, James, that allows the one of Hudson O'Neal to close in on your leader.
Sheppard had Hughes and Pearson running side by side there as Brandon goes to the outside. Here comes O'Neal through the middle out of turn number 2. Sheppard trying to get around the 11 of the 46. You mentioned that wall when you're coming off of turn number 2. It extends out. And as they come out at turn number 4, tight battle for the lead into turn number 1. Here comes O'Neal on the bottom. Pearson a little misstep at 2. Down the back straightaway, we may have a change for the lead, Dustin.
Hudson O'Neal on the inside. He's got a nose ahead through the corner as they come by at the stripe, though. A little more momentum for the B5 of Brandon Sheppard. 36 laps in the books, 44 laps remaining, and Bobby Pearson's going to join the battle. We got a dandy here at the Silver Dollar Nationals, James.
And here comes Pierce to the outside, and Bobby Pierce will now go to second at 32. 37 laps in the books, 43 to go. Pearson, now O'Neal will go back to second. Oh my goodness. We've got a Gorsuch Performance Solutions caution just as we were having a barn burner for the lead here at Huset, and it's Dalton Wilson in the 18D.
Back here at Huset Speedway, 37 laps scored, 43 laps remaining, and a flat tire on Dalton Wilson's 18D has brought out the Gorsuch Performance Solutions caution, just as things were getting hairy at the front of the field, Ben.
Yeah, we got Dalton Wilson down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce pit area. Looks like all 4 tires may be up on that race car. They go to work on the body on the right side, though. He's caught the wall with the right rear quarter panel and the spoiler. Meanwhile, Earl Pearson Jr. is getting a shock adjustment on the right front, but it appears all 4 tires up on both of these vehicles as we see the Gorsuch Performance Solutions caution bring an end to what was an amazing race for the lead.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Brandon Sheppard. Now, Bobby Pierce on the last completed lap at the scoring loop scored his second. O'Neal third, Clanton fourth, Davenport. Look at the separation there, not much at all.
The last lap, 0.4 of a second separated the top 3 cars as they came by the line. As it stands right now, James, again, it's Sheppard, Pierce, O'Neal. Shane Clanton is 4th, Jonathan Davenport is 5th, 37 laps are scored. Then it's Brandon Overton 6th, Tyler Earp 7th, Ricky Thornton Jr. from 16th to 8th. Chase Younghands has worked his way from 14th up to 9th, and Devin Moran rounds out the top 10. Tim McCready is currently 11th, and Kyle Bronson right now still the Todd Steel Building's hard charger of the race. He's come from 22nd to 12th. Ben, down to you.
And Dalton Wilson's team, they're having a headache down here. Finally, they'll get it. They had a brace that was loose. Also, part of the breakaway spoiler did not want to break away. He'll make his way back out. Earl Pearson Jr. still sits down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit.
Yeah, well, we were watching that battle for the lead between Sheppard and O'Neal, and here comes Bobby Pierce, who had gotten around Clanton, making a run for it. O'Neal got back around him, but that last lap was not a completed lap. It's the leader plus 3 at the scoring loop to get a lap in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series as EPJ coming back out. Sheppard, I believe, has still led every lap.
Led every lap,
correct?
yes.
Here tonight at Huset's.
Looking for his biggest win of the year is Brandon Sheppard as well in that Sheppard Riggs Racing number B5.
You get some help from Kevin Rumley in the last month or so. That started at Deer Creek. Of course, I think it started at Eldora as well.
Right,
They're
yes.
able to dream back in June and extended to Deer Creek. And I tell you what, there's nobody better than Kevin Rumley to help you set up a race car. But, man, it's Shepard, Pierce, O'Neill, Clanton, Davenport at the Racing for Heroes restart zone. A dandy so far at Huset's. We've got 43 laps to go, Dustin, for $53,000.
It means 37 laps are scored. Brandon Shepard brings him back around to the green, and we're back underway. See if Pierce is able to work his way around the outside of Hudson O'Neill, or if Hudson O'Neill can take that second spot back. They stay side by side momentarily. Pierce, though, with a little better run on the high side of the track, this time by 38 laps down. It's Brandon Shepard out front. Now Bobby Pierce in hot pursuit.
Meanwhile, Brandon Overton has moved to the top on Jonathan Davenport. That's a battle for points. That's third and fourth in the championship points. Clanton runs in front of them. Here comes Ricky Thornton Jr. in on Tyler Erb. So Thornton, who started 16th here, as they come out of turn number 2, Shepard still showing the way, Dustin. Will have 40 laps in the books this time around.
Oh, Devin Moran on back through the field. Moran looked like maybe he had to stab the brake to keep from getting in the back. Someone coming off turn at number 2 as we're at the halfway point here in this one. 40 down, 40 to go. And now Bobby Pierce giving chase to his fellow Land O'Lincoln driver Brandon Shepard. A battle up front.
Brandon Shepard has held the lead. Here comes Bobby Pierce on the bottom in 32. Pierce a former winner, so is Brandon Shepard into turn 3. $175,000 purse in the main event only this weekend here at Huset's. First time here for the Silver Dollar Nationals. It's found a new home, in my opinion, as they go out of turn number 2. Shepard, O'Neill is about 6-7 car lengths back Shepard. And meanwhile, Overton trying to clear Davenport for position. Out of turn 4.
Battle for 5th on the right side of your screen. Overton, oh, and the Gorsuch Performance caution is out as Ross Robinson looked like may have made contact with the outside wall or something amiss on the Georgetown, Delaware driver's car. He is going to pull into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit as there's a piece of debris on the track as well. 42 laps scored, 38 laps remaining here at Huset's. So Ross Robinson in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit with 42 laps in the books here at Huset Speedway. It's the General Tire Silver Dollar Nationals presented by Dixie Chopper. And Amanda and crew going to work underneath the rear end of that race car. Maybe going to change a right rear tire, it looks like, Ben.
Yeah, they're going to go and do that while they're in here. A lot of damage to the right rear quarter panel on Ross Robinson's number 7. So might as well put a new Hoosier on there. It is blistered, I can tell you that, and that's going to be something these other teams are going to keep an eye on. Right rear edges of that tire blistered, so we'll watch that. But he'll make his way back out, and business picking up at the front right now as a couple of Land O'Lincoln guys showing out here in the Rushmore State right now for the lead.
Joel Rogers and Cody Mallory from the Rocket 1 team. Well, that pass would be negated as we did not get that last lap scored. So Brandon Overton to go back to 6th. Tyler 7th, Thornton 8th, Younghans 9th, McCready 10th, Moran 11th, Bronson is 12th. So Bronson, who won the biggest race of his career here in the Silver Dollar Nationals at I-80 back in 2021, still working through the field here at Huset's. Well, Shepard is still led every lap, though, Dustin. 42 in the books, 38 remaining.
I tell you what, it hadn't come easy, though. He probably feels like he has not led every lap as he's got a couple tough customers back there behind him. Yellow lights turned off. We'll go green flag racing this time by in the Racing for Heroes starting zone. 42 laps scored, 38 laps remaining.
Tyler's got a good hot rod as well. He's trying to make a move into the top 5 as they go into 1. Herb right through the middle, looking around Overton. Here comes Younghans, and here comes RTJ. Shepard still leads. Battle for second, Pearson O'Neill. Brandon Shepard still shows the way with 37 to go.
That is a very wild line. I've watched Chase Younghans in that blue 18 take on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to work his way up through the field as he stabs the brake in the corners. At the front of the field, though, momentarily side by side for the lead. Doesn't last very long, though, as Shep's able to power back out front. And Pierce, he may have stabbed the brake coming out the corner, James, because that opens up the door for Hudson O'Neill.
O'Neill follows Pierce into 3. Clanton is 4th. 5th runs Davenport. Younghans on the move at 18 with Tyler Erb. Younghans had a good hot rod, did several laps here a couple of years ago. And right now, Shepard has about a 2-car length lead over Pierce, and now O'Neal under fire from Clanton and Davenport off of turn 4.
2021, the year Chase Younghands led those laps. He finished 5th in the Silver Dollar Nationals that year. His best finish to date back up the front of the field. Bobby Pierce getting a good run on your race leader, Brandon Shepard. James, we got a good one here at Huset. Says BP32. Trouble down in turn number 2. And the Gorsuch Performance Caution will come out. Ross Robinson has spun to a stop in the 7. So Ross Robinson puts us under caution with 46 laps scored, 34 laps remaining unofficially in the Silver Dollar Nationals, and it looks like some debris dangling from the back bumper of Ross Robinson's number 7.
Meanwhile, down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, Spencer Hughes provisional here tonight. Crew leans in to get a word with him. All 4 tires up on this race car. They're going to get to work on the right rear, though. Again, a shock adjustment would appear on the number 11, the PCC Motorsports entry. And, man, I tell you what, if we can just get a long green flag run, it is going to get really entertaining at the front right now. As you got Shepard, Pierce, and O'Neal putting on a show. And I tell you what, Clanton is lurking up there here tonight. 25 having a good run back and forth.
Ben, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see, but Chase Younghands has been running the very bottom of the racetrack, and he's been running just a very interesting line where he really kind of jolts that car sideways at a point coming off corner number 4.
Yeah, and really, I think that's the key, DJ. I'm standing down here in 3 and 4, and a lot of guys, including Pierce, they have a hard time getting off of 4, anything other than on the cushion. So far, Younghands doing something that nobody else can. He's run a very limited schedule this year, and man, trying to put it together a good run. Also another driver on the move, Tim McCready in car 39.
Yeah, another guy who was on the move earlier on, but Brandon Overton now back to 10th in car 76. So a little bit of a struggle here over the last couple of months, and he's lost ground as just inside the top 10. Kyle Bronson is up to 11th, so he's an early contender, yes, for the Todd Steel Building's hard charger once again. Okay, 34 to go in this race, 46 laps complete. Shepard is still led every lap, but it's been pretty good racing here tonight at Houston, no doubt about it. As we come off the 4, great restart by Hudson O'Neal, DJ.
Hudson O'Neal does indeed get a good start. He'll try to work his way by Brandon Shepard, something nobody's been able to do in this race. Not able to do so. Here comes Pierce. They're going to fan out through the corner. They don't quite go 3 wide, but Pierce is able to work his way by the 1 of Brandon Shepard, or by the 1 of Hudson O'Neal, move back up to the top spot in pursuit of your race leader, Brandon Shepard.
Hamilton off out of turn number 2, O'Neal. Man, they are going at it, those top 3. Meanwhile, Tyler working the bottom of Davenport as you watch the top 3. Shepard, we may have to quadruple box this thing the way it's going. Pierce for the lead out of turn number 2. Can someone pass Brandon Shepard? No one has so far tonight. Tyler Erb is up to 5th in the best performance, number 1.
That shot on the right side of your screen, you can really see how much they're fanning out in the corners here at Huset Speedway. Bobby Pierce throwing everything but the kitchen sink at your race leader. And on back through the field there on the right side of your screen again, Tyler Erb, Chase Younghands, and Ricky Thornton Jr. trying to work their way up through the field to the very bottom of the racetrack. Shepard going to take that bottom line now in 1 and 2, and that opens up the door for Pierce.
Now he slides in, no, and Shepard still leads. Man, Bobby Pierce right there, that was close. They were side by side. You could not have slid your hand between those 2. They dive into 3. Shepard, Pierce, O'Neal, Davenport, Erb, the top 5. Younghands in 6th. Shepard still leads the way, DJ. 52 down. We've got 28 to go at Danby and Houston.
And Shep's changed his line. He's gone back to the high side down in turns 1 and 2, but Pierce gets a good run on the bottom in 1 and 2. Pierce will go back down to the bottom in 3 and 4 this time as Bobby Pierce found a different line, maybe to his liking. And as he goes to the bottom, that may open up the door for Hudson O'Neal. A good one here at Huset Speedway tonight, James, this time by coming around to complete lap 54.
Got a car off the pace. The 99B of Boom Briggs calls it a race. Man, they fan out down the back straightaway. They're going to pick up the tail end of the field. 26 to go. We'll have 25 to go this time. It's Brandon Shepard. It's Illinois, and Indiana in turn 1, an all Big Ten battle in South Dakota.
Man, this is getting good at the front of the field. And again, they're quickly closing in on lap traffic, James. Just a few laps away from picking up the tail end of the field. This lead trio on your screen, they've got about 1 second, maybe a 1.2 second advantage over 4th and 5th place Jonathan Davenport and Tyler Erb. And James Business picking up once again. Brandon Shepard closing in on the tail end of the field.
Into turn number 1, you see they swing out wide this time. All 3 of them out at 2. Davenport back there, then it's Herb, Young Hands, and Ricky Thornton Jr. But all eyes up front here at Huset. Off at turn 4, Shepard now trying to open up a little bit of a gap. 22 laps remaining here in the Silver Dollar Nationals. As to the outside goes P. Shepard. He'll continue to open up some space between himself and second place Bobby Pierce.
I tell you what, this is going to be fun, the closing laps of this one, man. It's anytime we got a natural smile on our face, you know it's a good race. Shepard out front. He's got 0.6 of a second on the 32 of Bobby Pierce. Pierce has about 0.8 over the 1 of Hudson O'Neal, and James Business picking up. Oh, and Ross Robinson on the wall off corner number 2 right in front of your race leaders.
Yeah, Tyler Erb's got a fast race car. He's gotten around Jonathan Davenport. Meanwhile, that was a scary moment for Shepard. Continues to lead. Bobby Pierce to the bottom. Hudson O'Neal up top, then Tyler Erb will follow. Then it's Davenport. Thornton up from 16th to 6th. Young Hands McCready. Bronson up to 9th. How about that from where he started at?
Started back in 22nd,
Yep.
the 40B of Kyle Bronson. 19 laps to go. Ross Robinson's off the pace on the front straightaway. We'll see if he can make the hard left-hand turn into the infield, and he does. We stay green flag racing with 62 laps scored.
Brandon Shepard, there you have the battle back here. Davenport, Young Hands, Thornton, Bronson. They are going at it hot and heavy. Meanwhile, Shepard still leads, about a car length and a half back behind him. You see it on the screen here at the track at turn 1. Bobby Pierce, as he's setting him up if this thing stays green. We saw what happened at Deer Creek a few weeks ago. Set up Hudson O'Neal, bobbled in turn 2, and Shepard still continues to lead. Here comes Pierce.
Just go ahead and say it now. The scoring loop is just to the left of the flag stand.
It is just
here
to the left of the flag
Huset
stand.
Speedway.
Yes.
15 laps remaining in this one. That lead duo, James, they had stretched out a little bit of an advantage over Hudson O'Neal. Hud, though, starting to close back in and reel in both the B5 of Brandon Shepard and the 32 of Bobby Pierce. And down the back straightaway, man, that thing gets tight where the track funnels up, coming off 2 and coming off 4.
I'm sure it's not fun for the drivers, but it's fun for us watching here as they go into turn 1. Brandon Shepard, 13 laps to go. O'Neal 3rd, and Tyler Erb is 4th. And Ricky Thornton Jr. trying to go to 5th from 16th. He does it down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Ricky Thornton Jr. now up to position number 5. Back up at the front of the field, though. 32 of Bobby Pierce momentarily looking underneath Brandon Shepard in a battle for the lead. Back of the field, side by side in front of your race leaders. Oh, Shep did not have a good center of the corner there in turns 3 and 4. And again, Hudson O'Neal closing in on this lead duo. James, 11 laps to go in the Silver Dollar Nationals.
Remember I said a while back, I'd love to have a 3-wide finish at the line. We had a 2-wide finish at Deer Creek. We may very well have a 3-wide finish the way this is going if this stays green. 11, making 10 laps to go. Shepard, Pierce on the bottom. Here comes O'Neal up top, down the back straightaway. Into turn 3, they'll have 9 to go. Into 3, here comes O'Neal.
Hudson O'Neal down to the bottom of the racetrack. They nearly get 3 wide off the corner for the lead. 9 laps to go as they fan out through turns 1 and 2 rather. O'Neal down on the bottom, Pierce up top as those two battle side by side. Up momentarily gives Brandon Shepard an ounce of breathing room. That ounce of breathing room is no longer 8 to go.
Into turn 1, now to turn number 2. They'll go around the 16 of Tyler Brooding. Meanwhile, Tyler trying to make up ground. Ricky Thornton Jr. makes a move on him down the back straightaway. Thornton and Erb now. And Ricky Thornton Jr. takes the 4th spot. He might need a caution. Maybe not. I'm not sure. He's about a half a straightaway behind the top 3. It's still Shepard, Pierce, and O'Neal DJ. They'll have 6 to go coming up.
Fastest driver on the track, Ricky Thornton Jr. That's the good news for the RT fans. The bad news, he's 2 seconds behind the lead trio. And again, this lead trio mired in heavy lap traffic on the left side of your screen. Brandon Shepard out front. He's able to stretch out a couple car lengths down the back straightaway, but Spencer Hughes running directly in the leader's line. And Brandon Overton off the pace in the 76, and that might bring out a caution. We'll just have to wait and see. No, he's going to make it in the infield. We stay green.
Ricky Thornton Jr., though, he might have needed a caution that time. 4 laps to go. Into turn number 1. Is Pierce setting him up? You know he is. You can bet your bottom dollar that he will go into turn 3. O'Neill's trying to losing ground to the top 2. It's going to come down to the Illini drivers, Shepard and Pierce, Dustin Jarrett. 3 laps to go for $53,000. Down the back straightaway behind the 11 of Spencer Hughes and the 28 of Dennis Erb Jr.
Coming around to 2 to go, this time by clear traffic in front of Dennis Erb and the 11 of Spencer Hughes. If the leaders were able to get by him, I'm not sure they're going to be able to, though. It's still Shep, Pierce, Hud running 1, 2, and 3 as they come around turn 4 to the white flag.
Hudson O'Neil trying to make it close. Ricky Thornton Jr., he's going to be right there maybe. And behind Spencer Hughes, Dustin, who's going to win the Silver Dollar Nationals? Can Bobby Pierce pull another one off on the last lap?
He'll drive to the inside in turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air, a drag race to the line. Brandon Shepard wins the Silver Dollar Nationals with Bobby Pierce second, Hudson O'Neil third, Ricky Thornton Jr. from 16th to 4th, and Tyler Erb from 12th to 5th. Unofficially, Tim McCready 6th, Chase Younghand 7th, Kyle Bronson from 22nd to 8th, Jonathan Davenport 9th, and Devin Moran unofficially rounds out the top 10 in your My Race Pass results for the Silver Dollar Nationals. That was a dandy.
Man, and now we got a little bit of business to do yet. We got to go to the scales. How about it, Huset Speedway? Are you ready for the 2024 Silver Dollar Nationals? What a race here tonight. Give them all a big round of applause. A dandy. It'll show that Shepard led every lap. Man, oh man, oh man.
And once again, reminder to the fans that are here on the grounds, all drones must be grounded. Once again, fans and crews, all drones must be grounded here at Huset Speedway. Thank you.
Man, well, it was announced earlier tonight that the Silver Dollar Nationals will return here in 2024, no doubt about it. A special night here at Huset's.
Unbelievable, guys.
Unbelievable. Thank you to the Kosiskis for starting this race. Don O'Neil won the very first one at I-80. And Bobby Pierce thought he was going to do it here for the second Crown Jewel race in a row in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And Brandon Shepard, the Shepard Riggs team.
What a race.
He's still got to go through Droop, check, and the scales as he rolls off the scales.
After checking that car right now, Bobby Pierce has made his way to the front straightaway. And race fans, we're waiting as Brandon Shepard makes his way down. One last test down there. I tell you what, it's been a heck of a day here today. As we wait to make it official, Husets, have you had a good time here tonight?
Well, I tell you what, Ben, the box score might show that Brandon Shepard led all 80 laps, but it was anything. It was anything but easy, man. You ain't kidding there.
I mean, watching from the infield and watching whether it was Bobby or it was Huddy, watching what these guys threw at him as we wait to see if it is official. And down off the jack, and your winner here tonight is Brandon Shepard. $53,000 richer, and he becomes only the third driver to win this race multiple times. He joins Jonathan Davenport and Scott Bloomquist, and this will be the very special win. This will be the first crown jewel in the Shepard Riggs Racing B5. Second Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win of the year as he won the Farmer City 74. That was worth $25,000. Back in May to wrap up the Illinois Speed Week, and he will now make his way to Lucas Oil Victory Lane, his second V1 feature win of the year with the Tour, and the team is pushing it down here. This is going to be an emotional victory lane for the driver of the True Timber Valvoline Longhorn race car number B5. As again, his second win on the year. Tonight it is worth $53,000 in South Dakota as he had to work for it. An aggressive racetrack, but an aggressive driver gets it done. Not a big surprise, the three that go 1, 2, 3 tonight. We will talk to your Penske top 5 as Wayne Castleberry with Lucas Oil down here with Brandon Shepard, waiting on him to climb out of this race car here tonight at Huset Speedway, making history in South Dakota with a crown jewel win. Big smile on Sheppy's face down here And it has been a trying year for that team, but they made up a lot of ground over the past couple of months. Tonight, it all pays off as he gets set to climb out of this race car. Again, the Shepherd Riggs Racing B5, new team for 2023. And race fans, he's out of the car, starts to make his way out. Let him hear it. Brandon Shepherd out of New Berlin, Illinois. He is your General Tire Silver Dollar Nationals champion. Sunoco Race Fuel flag in hand. The confetti flies, and Sheppy hops off the race car. We'll get him in front of the car to talk about that one here tonight. 5th overall win of the year, 2nd with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Hoosier Tire neck band on, and Brandon Shepherd. The box score is going to show you led all 80, my friend. Did it feel that easy from the cockpit?
No, man, them guys are making it hard on me for sure. It was track was it was awesome, man. It was treacherous out there, and I was really tight about halfway through the race through 3 and 4, and that had me messed up and had me worried a little bit. And then once I moved to the top in 1 and 2, I kind of started slowing down my entry in 3 and 4, and that helped me out a bunch. And then it kind of, all the lap cars were in the bottom, so I just committed myself to the top for the rest of the race, and I got a good smooth rhythm going. And I was just able to hold them guys off. Bobby and Hudson have both been really tough this year. We've had our ups and downs all year long. We haven't. We're definitely, our win column ain't as good as we'd like it to be right now. But the two big wins that we do have are really good ones, I feel like. So this one means a lot to me. I won it with the Rocket House car a couple years ago, and to do it at a new racetrack and short track, man. That's we were battling hard there, and that's what you get when we run short track. So this place was awesome, and we battled a lot of Mother Nature this weekend, but the guys did a phenomenal job on the racetrack the whole time. Yeah, got a little one lane the first night, but you'll have that every once in a while. So like I said, hats off to the track crew. Big thanks to all my sponsors: Valvoline, True Timber, Paulson Rock Products, Goose's Pub and Eatery, Corrigan Race Fuels, Sunoco, Bilstein Shocks, Denny Woodworth. I know I'm going to forget some guys. Valvoline, Longhorn Chassis, Riggs Drilling Solutions, Wild Gear, Cornet Racing Engines. All the great people in this car. My dad, my grandpa wouldn't be standing here without them guys, so appreciate them and everything they do. And then Scott, Tara, Jason, Jack, the whole Riggs family for coming on board with us this year and making this year a lot of fun, even though it hasn't quite been the way we want it. We're turning it around, so I can't thank them enough. And then, of course, my great crew, Corey, my crew chief, Corey Lash, and then Justin and my Uncle Ed and Chuck and everybody that helps back home. My wife, Michaela, Kaylee, my daughter, Addison, my son, Baylor, my son, Jace. Just there's a huge support system behind me, and I know I'm forgetting some people, but I can't thank all of them enough. Steve Arpin, Kevin Rumley, Matt Langston, everybody at Longhorn Chassis. Got to thank them guys for never giving up on me. It was definitely trying the first half of the year, but I keep saying we're getting it turned around, and it never seems to go our way. So maybe tonight will be the turning point where we can start keeping this thing up front.
Those closing laps, you see the 32s on the board. You grew up racing with him. What's going through your mind? You had to know the slider was coming, right?
Oh, absolutely. I messed up a couple times in 3 and 4, and I thought, oh, here it comes. But I tell you what, man, Bobby's a lot of fun to race with, and he gets every bit out of that race car. There's no doubt about that. So, he always races me clean, though, so good job to them guys. And, when we're in opposite positions, I'm going to run him clean like that, too. So, like I said, congratulations to Bobby and Hudson and them guys. They've been doing a phenomenal job this year also. And I just can't say enough about my team and everybody involved. And thanks to all the fans for coming out, sticking it out through the weather. And this place was awesome. Can't wait to come back.
Huset Speedway, let him hear it. Brandon Shepherd, your General Tire Silver Dollar Nationals champion, presented by Dixie Chopper. Bobby Pierce. Bobby, the last time you were in this situation in one of these big races, and it came down to the wire, you find yourself tonight, Big River Steel podium number 2. You threw a few sliders there late in the race. Did you have anything left there that you didn't give on that last lap?
Man, I almost wish I would have tried the bottom a little sooner, but when Hudson got his hat thrown in the ring there for third and second, I didn't want to lose that spot. And, you want to go for it as quick as you can, but I was just biding my time waiting for him to make a mistake, and he made a couple, but, you know, he just couldn't make that run. Still, I was hoping for some lap cars to hold him up, and maybe I'd cross him over. But, man, what a heck of a race. You know, come from 8th like that, and we were on the move pretty quick in the race. I got to give a huge shout-out to Longhorn, Bill Steen, Vic Hill, Swift Springs, all the components make this car fast. My crew, Dad, Zach and Zach. My mom and Abby selling shirts this weekend. Takes a whole group. Everybody helps us out. And, man, that was I know you're going to talk about it. With Shepard there, I don't know how he fit around me in turn 3 and 4. That was nuts. Me and Hudson were just talking about it, and we were like, I don't know how he fit around there. Because, like, I had the slider basically cleared, and he just got around. So that won on the race, so congrats to him on that. He drove a heck of a race.
I know you came here to win tonight, but is it cool to you that a guy you came up through the ranks with back in Illinois, you guys are in South Dakota fighting for a $53,000 win? What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot for sure. You know, this being the first time the Silver Dollar Nationals is here, it's a big thing, and I'll always support the Silver Dollar. We've got a lot of history with it, and yeah, you know, that the racetrack was gnarly tonight. It was got my heart rate up for sure, and my grip was wearing out on the steering wheel, and I was doing everything I could. It was a lot of fun. I have a lot of respect for him, Hudson, everybody. You know, they're heck of a race car drivers, and like I said, once again, he drove a heck of a race. I got to give a huge thanks to my sponsors that help us getting down the road. Rio Grande Waste Services, Hoker Trucking, Sea Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, Bloomington Normal Truck Performance, Fast One Speed Shop, Toyota Danville, Ted Brown, Leica, Buddha, A+ Vacuum. Like I said, all the fast stuff, Go Lithium Batteries, Profab Headers, Lyco, Fast Shafts. Everyone that helps us out, huge thank you to them. VP Racing Fuels, I forgot them a few times. Pure Max Racing Oils, everybody.
Race fans, Bobby Pierce second tonight on the Big River Steel podium. And rounding out our Big River Steel podium, Hudson, it seemed like, man, you were right there on the edge of spoiling the party, but you had a front row seat for an amazing battle. What was it like from your viewpoint as you watched that battle for the lead?
I wanted to get involved in it. Man, that was brutal up around that cushion. It wasn't brutal for the race cars, but, man, it was on us. I was dead by the last 10 laps. But, man, it was a good race. Me, Shep, and Bobby, we were thrown under. I felt like you throw a blanket over us for the whole last 30 or 40 laps or whatever it was. But I thought it was a great race, and there were some times where I thought that we were going to have a shot. I got a good restart on the last one and was able to kind of sneak under Shep for a minute, but I just couldn't quite get clear of him, and Bobby played it really good and got back by me. But it was really cool, man. Appreciate Huset. They worked their butt off today. They were on this racetrack all day long trying to make it the best they could for us, and whenever you race in the daytime, it's just a lose-lose situation for most racetracks. So we appreciate them. I appreciate everybody here at Huset Speedway. Thank you to my guys, Mark, Danny, Joel, Austin, Cody, my girlfriend, everybody here that helps us. And thank you to Valvoline, Soyber Calf Ranches, O'Neill Savage and Recycling, WR1 Sim Chassis, Sunoco Race Fuels, Integra Racing Shocks, Rocket Pre-Owned, Performance Grading, Gunners Honey, Ace Metal Works, Rocket Chassis, Andy Durham Race Engines ran great tonight. And we'll move on to XR this week, and we'll see if we got anything for him.
Hudson O'Neill, he rounds out the Big River Steel podium here tonight. Meanwhile, from 16th to 4th in the Penske Top 5, how about it for Ricky Thornton Jr.? Ricky, again, man, you come to win these races, but this feels like the kind of night where championships might be built. You guys were buried on a racetrack where a lot of people didn't know if you'd be able to pass or not. You proved them wrong. Did you want it to be 100 laps or maybe have a caution before this one was over?
I really did. I got to where I could actually still roll through the middle where those guys were kind of super married to the top. But hopefully my buddy Jesse there is all good. Yeah, that was a pretty wicked wreck. So didn't see him before we came out here, so hopefully he's all right. But no, we had a really good car. I just wasn't aggressive enough earlier today and just kind of cost myself. But overall, really good night still. It was elbows up, get after it. Didn't matter if you're on the top or the bottom. So hats off to everyone here at Huset. I knew they were going to work hard and make sure we had a really good main, and it definitely showed. So got to give a big shout out to Hoker Trucking, Big River Steel, Coltman Farms, Bill Stein Shocks, my mom, my wife, everyone, my kids. They all got to come out this weekend. So it's been pretty cool.
Ricky Thornton Jr., the Midwest Sheet Metal points leader, comes home 4th tonight for starting in position number 16. And rounding out tonight, Penske Shock's top 5, Tyler Erb. Turbo, you were as high as 4th. You come home 5th. Feels like this is what this team needed, though, as you guys have battled some adversity the past few weeks.
Yeah, we've been really good at running 6th every night. Just early we seemed to struggle, but it was a good run. Just got to where I couldn't run that cushion as good as I needed to the last 15 or 20 laps. But all in all, you know, happy with the weekend. Just got to thank Corey, Cockroach, Cody. Zach came and helped us this week. Everybody at Penske, Nick and Dennis. Eric's watching at home. My mom and my Aunt Laura came this weekend. Base Racing Fuels, JRR Truck and my man Chris. Go Lithium, Dirt Car Lift. Big Glenn builds an awesome motor. Everybody at Rocket, Midwest Sheet Metal, Anthony's Pizza. This is, you know, we haven't been bad. We just haven't won all the races we want to win, and it's tough. But we're just going to keep digging and see if we can get one Monday or Tuesday.
Tyler Erb, he rounds out the Penske top 5. James DJ, a total barn burner here tonight at Huset.
We had an absolute dandy here tonight at Huset Speedway for the 13th running of the General Tire Silver Dollar Nationals presented by Dixie Chopper.